But I'm going to have this lady here break it down of what we're really going into and what's happening. I'm going to play some videos. We're going to go over some stuff. This is the former hub of Secretary of Assistant Secretary Kathleen Austin explaining the financial control and what's planned of these people have for us. They have plans for them. We're not going to be involved in that plan. They have AIs. They have the slave illegals. Most people won't be here in the next 3 to 4 years. It's going to be the survival of the fittest.
The master plan is to implement total control
Mm-hmm.
and to run a society with two sets of rules, one for a small group of oligarchs. So,
Rule for D.
I don't know if you ever saw the interview after Jared Kushner left the first Trump administration. He gave an interview and he said, given what's happening in biotech, I'm going to be the first generation to live forever, the last generation not to live forever.
I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And
I just had one of our subscribers have dinner with Steve Wolfram, and Wolfram was saying it doesn't matter that we do the digital control grid, because if you look at what AI can do with biotech, we can live forever.
If we look at sort of what the important developments that might happen in the future are, probably the one that's going to be sort of the biggest discontinuity in human history is when human immortality is achieved, which it undoubtedly will be. How will it be achieved? There are two basic paths. It's either, technology and electronics and so on, or it's biology.
So now, you can't let 8 billion people live forever because you're going to have an environmental problem. So you have one group of people who apparently think they're going to live forever. And then you have another set of rules for everybody else, and you want to put them on a trajectory to steadily decline in terms of number of population. So
you see these numbers there. This is why feminists push for women independence. I don't need no man. I don't need a family. I don't need kids. I don't need this. They've been pushing this for over 100 years. Abortion clinics everywhere, especially in the poor neighborhoods and areas. Planned Parenthood, especially in the Black community. Blacks have been done aborted by probably up to 100 million kids in the last at least 100 years alone. And we know who helped push those civil rights. Those Jews helped push those civil rights. And it never was for Black people in America. They use us as parasites to open up the floodgates for themselves to take advantage of white liberal women, the Jews and everybody, the Indians, the immigrants. People, if you're a color Black and you're still pushing for reparations and the system do you wrong, you have been not only replaced, you've been surpassed and replaced by immigrants and everybody else. Because you didn't advance, you didn't evolve with the slow advantages that you did get received from the Civil Rights Movement and the Civil Rights Act. You got the DIY, you got the affirmative action policies, but a lot of y'all didn't take advantage of it to move forward, to build wealth, to build families and shit like that. You spawned that opportunity, now it doesn't pass you. Now they don't care for you no more. You had 20, 30 years of an opportunity to move forward and you blew it. And now you're mad, now you want reparations and shit, it's over. And the climb of federation, they say what, about 20, 30, 45% of women would be single and childless. That's why they're making it unaffordable. People can't even have kids. People can't even afford housing or homes. They did this on purpose. Prices are not going down. Prices are only going up. You keep up or you be priced out and homeless and starved. They don't care anymore.